Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Planet Marzipan, the Fish and Marillion podcast. I'm Mezza, and here's my mate.
Craig Houston.
Hello, and welcome to Planet Marzipan. I'm Mezza, and here with my good friend. And we have some returning guests for you folks. We welcome back to the podcast Leo Trimmy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Leo. Welcome back. We welcome back Guy Vickers.
Hello.
Hello, Guy. We are international. Guy's talking to us from the good old US of A. And much closer to home, we welcome back Stuart Chandler.
Hello.
Hi, Stuart. You okay?
Evening.
Yes, all good.
Good. And as you can see, we're here. So I shall rephrase that. As you can see from the title of the episode, we are here to discuss Marillions' first live video recital of the script from way back in 1983. Now, I've had a quick chat around the guys beforehand. So in a minute, I'm going to ask them where they were in 83. But first, as usual, we will start with, well, in fact, this was recorded on the 18th of April, Craig, 1983. How old were you?
I thought I was 11. Actually, I'd have only been 10
You'd have
because
been
it's here.
10, yeah.
I'd have been 10, yeah, because I wouldn't have been 11 until the September.
And there's no
Yes,
truth
this was-
in the rumour that these guys are spreading that you're the young lad that Fish pulls out the audience.
I'm definitely not. I was far too young for that type of thing. My head was purely at this time getting very excited for the release of Return of the Jedi, which was going to be about a month from this. But Star Wars stuff like.
Okie-doke. I'll start with the Wikipedia entry and then I'll ask the guys where they were then. So Wikipedia has an entry for this. It says Recital of the Script is a live album by Marillion recorded at a concert at the Hammersmith Odeon, as it was called then, in London on the 18th of April 1983. The recording was made on the final date of a tour promoting their 1983 debut album Script for Jester's Tear. Featuring Fish on vocals and Mick Pointer on drums, it comprises songs from that album as well as tracks from the 1982 debut EP Market Square Heroes and the B-side of He Knows You Know from 1983. So, Guy, I think you're probably, I was going to say the oldest fan, but that's not true. You're the fan who's been following the band the longest on here right now, aren't you? So what, you first saw them in 82, is that right?
I did, yeah, I saw them in 82, in December 82. Yeah.
Okay, so you presumably saw them on the script tour as well.
I did. I saw them at the Cardiff Top Rank
I was,
wow.
script tour.
I was there, Guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Small world, though.
It is a small world, yeah.
No longer exists.
So how was the feeling amongst the fandom in 82? Presumably you'd seen them around the time they were signed to EMI.
Well, I had a few friends who were Marillion fans, but it wasn't like now where there's Facebook and everybody knows, lots of other people and there's a big fan community. There were lots of people at the gigs, but I didn't know very many of them. I only knew the people that I went with, just like, with any other band. So there wasn't really, to my knowledge, I didn't know there was a fan base or fandom. I just would go to gigs, and I'd been to a few other gigs. Actually, no, after this, I went to other gigs. I think I'd only been to the one in December 82 and the Top Rank before I then went to see them in Swansea just before they played Glastonbury with Andy Ward on the drums.
Guess
Oh,
what?
wow. Yeah.
I was there.
Really?
Oh, look, separated at birth, these two.
I just say something. Oh, no, you finish what you're going to say.
No, I was going to say, I only knew like 3 other people who knew Marillion. So I can't tell you what the feeling was in the fan base. I can tell you what I felt, which
Well,
was
what did you feel? Yeah.
I felt this was my band. I was too young to have really been a fan of Genesis and Yes when they were at their height. By the time I got into them, they were releasing albums which everybody thought weren't as good as the albums they'd released before. Nobody was as excited about them as I felt people had been excited about them. And then my brother, who was older than me, said, "Oh, you probably like Marillion if you like Genesis." When we've had this discussion before, I don't see any comparison between Genesis and Marillion, but there we are. He did, and he played me, and I immediately thought it was the Market Square Heroes EP, the 12-inch.
Yeah.
And he bought it for me, and I thought, well, this is it now. This is my band. These will be my guys. I will seek them out. I'll go and see them. They're about my age. I mean, they're a couple of years older than me, so it felt like I was getting in on the ground floor. So
how old were you in '83?
I was 19.
Okay.
When this was released, I would have been 19.
Yeah.
So it really felt like, well, I may have missed the first round, but I'm here for this. This is going to be a big thing, even though it didn't feel like that much of a big thing. Most of the venues were well sold, but they were little venues. But when we went to see them in Gorsinan, which was just a couple of months after this, they had been on top of the Pops. I think I've told you that story before. And then they had they had to fly over. I think they got a helicopter over from London to Swansea to arrive for that. And that felt like it was a big thing. Well, I know looking back on it, Top of the Pops is a bit kind of limp and lame. But at the time, it felt like it's a big thing. They're going to be a big band, and they're my band. Yeah. And I will go to all the things I can go to, and I will follow them around. And that was the first time I'd ever felt that about a band that didn't feel like it was people who were 10 years older than me. It felt like they were my guys, is how I felt.
Yeah. And and Leo, you must have had a similar sort of feeling.
To be honest, I might as well leave the room, because Guy said everything I was going to say. We have such similar experiences. It's actually quite scary. Because I was at the Cardiff Top Rank. I got into them through school. I was a sixth former, so I was about 19 in April '83. I'd gone to Swansea University at the grand old age of 17, and Grendel's 12-inch Market Square Heroes came out literally around my 18th birthday. I started at uni slightly early, and it just blew me away. At school, in the sixth form, they were handing around a cassette of the Radio 1 session, which people were very excited about. And one of my friends was saying, "Oh, it's like Yes." I didn't hear Yes. I heard Genesis. I was a massive Genesis fan. In 1980, I saw them for the first time on the Duke tour, and they were.
I did too. Did you see them at Sophia Gardens?
No, I saw them in Reading. I went to school in Reading. I was only in South Wales because I went to university down there. Right. So they did their first tour. I went on my own to Cardiff Top Rank from Swansea. I felt like Billy No Mates, but it was sold out. It was packed out. They were fabulous. I hadn't been to that many gigs, but they just blew my brain. And then I was up there. I was up in the balcony. Peter Hamill was the support act. I'd heard he'd had a hard time for some audiences. I don't remember that happening in Cardiff. I don't think he had a hard time there.
Am I recalling it correctly? Did he not do sort of an acoustic set?
He had him and a guy called John Ellis on guitar.
Yeah, but that was probably why it wasn't so well received.
And also, a lot of early Marillion fans were heavy metal.
Yes, yeah.
They weren't there for Van der Graaf Generator interpretations. I loved Van der Graaf Generator, so for me this was like double god. I had my prog god from Van der Graaf Generator on the stage, and my new heroes, who were fantastic live. I was up in the balcony, and then they were doing Margaret. They didn't do Grendel at Cardiff, and Fish disappeared off. And they're doing all their vamping on the guitar and keys and everything. And suddenly, I'm at the balcony. This massive hand clamps me on the shoulder. I look around. There's 6'6" Fish singing away just right over my shoulder. It was a very exciting moment for a 19-year-old. I was at that point. No, I was 18. I was 18. I had to go home and change my underwear. But Marillion actually. They played a lot in South Wales because they used to go to the Rockfield Studios near Monmouth. Yeah, used to practice there and record there. So I saw them loads. I saw Ian Mosley's second ever gig in October '83 at Swansea University. That was a massive concert. The crowd actually moved the stage back about 6 inches. The PAs were wobbling. Fish had to tell everyone to step back. And I later heard the guys that ran the Ents crew had they were meant to sell about 800 tickets and sold about 1,200. It was just
Wow.
But it was a great night. And I just saw them loads in that period. And then I saw them doing Grendel at Reading, which
I was there.
I think without the Reading bit, I think our stories are very similar. I was 18 and I, like you guys, got into the band through the Market Square Heroes EP.
Yeah.
I've told this story in the pod before, but I did some sort of Saturday work in a record store in York, and I didn't get paid. I got paid in records, and the owner said, "You like Genesis, don't you? Try this." And from there on, we know how that went. And I was much like yourself, Leo, Billy No Mates, traveling to Sheffield City Hall on my own, on public transport to do the script tour, and it just completely blew me away. Cost me a fortune since, I'm hastening to add, but more than worth it.
A bit like Guy, though, exactly that feeling. I had two older brothers who introduced me to prog, Genesis and Floyd and Yes and stuff. Marillion never crossed their radar. They'd gone past that. And I mean, like I said, I'm just repeating Guy really, because by the time we got to the early 80s, Yes they'd done drama with Buggles, which in hindsight is better than it's felt at the time. When my heroes joined Buggles, you're thinking, Jesus wept. But actually it turned out to be a pretty good album, but it didn't feel like it at the time. Then they did 90125, Owner of a Lola. It wasn't prog as I loved. And then Genesis they started getting into the real pop era, which is fine in its own, but it wasn't the prog I loved. So all the stuff I was loving was moving away from what I loved. And then Marillion filled that vacuum alongside IQ. I adore IQ. And at 12th Night, they're my heroes from that era, really.
I mean, I was kind of like yourself, but doing it remotely in York, so none of the bands really came up here. I was ordering vinyls from IQ and 12th Night and reading in sounds about what was going on down at the Marquee.
Yeah.
Very jealous of you that you were sort of in that sort of part of the country.
I could never get to the Marquee. Going to London as a 17, 18, I just wouldn't have happened. My parents would have done then. And, we didn't have cheap travel lodges and places like that then. It was.
Did you ever get to the Marquee then?
Never got to the Marquee.
Oh, man. Did you, Guy?
I did, yeah. I went in 1982 in December.
Yeah. Oh, right. One of the Christmas shows. Sorry. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That show's on the deluxe script.
Yeah.
Version,
yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring the young ones in then. Stuart, what's your story with this VHS and live album?
Well, I mean, I came to it because I originally found Marillion, going to my local library, found script on cassette. Thought, God, that looks weird and interesting. I was about 13, 14, I suppose, something like that. Didn't know where I was going musically at all. Played it, loved it, and just went all in. And then I suppose it must have been within the next 6 months I got the video, probably from Smith's. This video.
Yeah. Look, he's waving the VHS around, folks.
And that was my sort of first experience of a live gig in a way, because I'd never sort of seen it before. And I was just like, bang, blown by it. And that was everything about it. It's like, this is what a front man should be. This is what a live band should be, and it's sort of, incredible.
Okay. And Craig,
blew me away.
I think you're the youngest on here, mate. So where do you come into this?
So how was Return of the Jedi?
It was good, but not as good as Empire Strikes Back. But there you go. For me, my first seeing this, I think I've mentioned this on the pod ages back. It
Probably.
Was Ralph, basically my mate who got me into Marillion back in the day. He sat me down, I think it must have been number 84 or 85 on VHS and plonked this in front of me. And to say that I was really not interested and really did not like it at all was probably an understatement. I just didn't get it. And I was only about 12 or 13 the first time that I saw it, and it really didn't do it for me at the time. But I was young, and it was me pre-prog days.
Well, I don't think you've entered your prog days yet, have you?
I've inched into it every
This
ever
is as
so
close as you
slightly.
get, Marillion, isn't it? You're allergic to prog.
I've got
Okay.
my antihistamines.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we all were as this came out. It came out on VHS and good old Betamax.
Betamax, yes.
And on Laserdisc.
Ooh, for you young fangirl Japanese
I
likes
know.
It wasn't the whole show to
with your
start
pioneer
with.
players.
Sorry?
It wasn't the whole show to start.
No,
with.
it was 6 tracks on the first release. And then strangely they put out a video EP in April 84 with The Web and Grendel on.
Yeah.
So they'd released most of the gig, but not all. And then in 2009, EMI, in their infinite wisdom, released a 2 CD version of the gig, which again has almost all the gig on it, apart from Margaret.
I was listening the other day. I wondered what happened to that.
We do get 3 Boats Down from the Candy and Charting the Single, but as we know, Charting the Single was released on the Garden Party 12-inch. So, but it's I think it's a fantastic sounding CD. I mean, I love the VHS and the DVD, but I think the CD sounds infinitely better.
Well, I listened to it. I travelled to Southampton and got stuck in a 5.5 5 hour traffic jam on Sunday. I was getting
For the Magenta gig, was that?
Yeah, and but I was listening to that repeatedly, and what I loved about it, unlike a lot like that Thieving Magpie thing, which I'm not keen on, is it included a lot of Fish's stories in between, and that felt for me like a document of the live act I used to see back then.
Yeah.
A lot of live albums don't have that. Jethro Tull's Bursting Out has that with Ian Anderson. They cut that out, and I know what they did.
Well, it's not in the film. It's not in the video version. But it is on the CD version.
And I loved hearing some of those stories. You know, the story behind 3 Boats Down from the Candy and The Web and the speech before Forgotten Sons. They're all great to hear, and that was part of the whole shtick for me.
Yeah.
Good. And I've just worked out where I've heard the name Guy Vickers before.
All right. Crime Watch.
You did the lyrics, didn't you, for Mark's album?
I did. Yeah, I did.
That's a fine album, by the way, mate.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna write a piece for the Progressive Aspect about Amelia Earhart. I'm
right.
About this.
Okay.
It's going to be on a radio show. So
Right. Okay.
I'll let you know.
Thank you very much,
I
Liam.
really love that album, particularly Amelia. Sorry, we digress.
It's all right. You two get a room, I think. Yeah.
Oh, we go off on tangents all the time. I really wouldn't worry about it.
Have you guys had a chance to watch the film recently, or have we just
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I just say, should anybody who's listening to this be interested in acquiring Recital of the Script on CD, it's currently being sold by Amazon for £292 for a 2 CD version.
Yes, it is.
Fair enough, isn't it? Fair enough.
So,
or you can have mine for half that.
I say the prices that you've been advertising stuff, Leo, it'll be less than £5.
I'm just getting rid of a lot.
I
of
know.
Well, they're not dross. I just got too much stuff.
I have, and I need to get rid of stuff, but we'll come
Quite
to
liberating, actually.
I think weirdly, I think I sold you the Kairos CD myself. But well, that's an aside.
But yes, I dug out the Blu-ray on the deluxe edition of Script.
Yes,
because it's been cleaned up a little bit for the
Blu-ray. It's upscaled, isn't it?
Yes, and it looks quite canny.
Okay. Well, if it's okay with you, I'd like to kind of go through the gig with any thoughts and feelings you've got about it, whether it's the audio or the video version. I mean, it does start with Script, but weirdly, the titles are on the screen, and the band is already in full flow and Fish
Yeah.
is singing before we even get to.
But you notice at the start though, when they've got like they put a Marillion, it's a bit like, do you remember the music show Razzmatazz back in the
Yeah,
day?
yeah.
It was just like that, or the start of Heidi High. Where
Yeah,
you've got
yeah.
Marillion in that kind of little
Marillion.
Well, State of the Art in 1983, I'll have you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
the
you
other thing.
speaking of
Before we go through the tracks, one thing I was going to say was people now don't realize how amazing it was that this video came out. If you were a fan of the band, it's not like now where everything is documented and released on high definition Blu-ray. I was, when it came out, I was so excited to buy it, and I probably paid nearly £20 for it.
Yeah.
It was $19.99 to buy the video, but it was, and I had a few videos, but there just wasn't that much stuff out there to get by this band that I thought were pretty much under the radar. To find that they were releasing a live video was just so exciting. It's hard to describe it now because we're so used to like, oh, when's the next DVD coming out?
Yeah.
When's the next Blu-ray coming out? That it was just, and even though it was only 6 tracks, it still felt like a really special moment that it was recognized that first year. Of course, everything changed after this video. I mean, it is a document of a moment in time, and it therefore holds special memories for me because of going and seeing the band in this formation, and they were never the same again. You might argue that they were much better after this.
Well,
you might say
they were different.
Yeah, I would say they were different. Like Leo, I was at the Swansea University gig with Ian Mosley, and it sounded so much more professional than it had sounded, but I'm not sure that I just wasn't that comfortable because I'd seen Reading with John Martyr and I'd seen Corsignon with Andy Ward. I just didn't want to actually get used to Ian Mosley on the drums because I thought, well, he'll be off in a minute and there'll be another drummer along. It felt like it had been, our band had gone.
Well, it's got an edginess and a punkiness that they kind of lost. I mean, you commented on Facebook, Guy, about mixed drumming, and I think there's only really one spot in the gig where it's really noticeable. Unfortunately, that's at the very beginning. It's right at the beginning of script.
No, I'd like to say there's one part I'd like to say about this with Mick Pointer, which is absolutely shocking, and it made me shudder. How short his shorts were that he was wearing for that gig.
Anyway, we need to congratulate Mr. Pointer on his recent wedding.
We do.
Oh yes, definitely.
Mr. and Mrs. Pointer. Thank you, Lucy Jordan.
No, you don't congratulate the bride, John.
You do. Yeah, you do. You do.
You congratulate the groom. You don't congratulate a bride.
Why?
Well, because that's suggesting she's done well, and you never suggest that to a bride. It's not congratulation.
I'm not going to get in trouble for that again. I'm going to congratulate both of them.
I going back to the thing. I mean, hearing this, you can hear his limitations. He was okay. I thought he was okay. What's a song he was? There was a song with a. I was thinking the other day, Forgotten Sons. Wasn't bad. There was one with a like a machine gun. It was like Forgotten Sons. It's
Forgotten Sons, yeah.
That was okay, but some of it really was a bit pedestrian.
I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. It has a certain power to it. The whole band have a certain power to them that they never had going forward.
Swing. I mean, Andy Ward at Corsignon was out of his tree. I mean, the poor bloke, it turns out, was self-medicating for mental health issues, but he was. When you get sat from a band with Fish in for being too drunk, then you know you've got a problem. He was sacked in America, wasn't he, poor bloke? And I saw the other John Martyr, although what's his name? Andy Ward came on and played. Didn't he play?
Yeah, play bongos. Because they promised him that he could, which I thought was.
I didn't sense the band was. I saw them with Mosley on that. They did a little mini tour, didn't they? Bath University, Swansea, Aberystwyth, I think, and Bangor, just to break him in. It felt like we've now got a grown up behind the drum stool. That's what it felt like.
I agree with that. I just didn't think he'd be around for very long.
Well, I thought he was going to spontaneously combust at one point. It's just, don't forget, in 1983 there were 5 drummers in Marillion: Mick Pointer, Jonathan Mover, John Martyr, Andy Ward, and Mosley. There's a tribute.
But the thing is,
your bonus question.
Oh,
And now for your bonus question.
that's,
But
I-
I still respect Mick Pointer though, because
yeah.
I mean he was the
up.
cornerstone of the band and setting it up, and one of the original driving forces there from the beginning. So kudos to him. But history is what history is.
Absolutely.
The
Stand
drums.
by what I've said though. It's a really powerful gig.
Yeah, the drums are mixed. More
the bit at the end where they go off between the main set and the encore, and they're all kind of in the stairwell and high-fiving each other, and you just think that's so Machiavellian, because at this point they decided to sack him. They already knew that.
They knew. Yeah.
Wasn't it at the end of that tour? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was at the end of that gig. It was the next day.
Was it?
Yeah, following day. Yeah.
Imagine that. He must have thought he'd reached the top and suddenly hit the bottom. He didn't play drums again until 1995.
No, 10 years off. Took 10 years off.
It fitted some great kitchens though.
Anyway, I'm going to go back to the film and the gig and the opening of Script for Jester's Tear, which starts with Fish backlit with dry ice and
very orange.
Very orange, yeah. I mean,
it's very dark to start with as well, isn't it?
It is.
The stage lighting and that. It's
not professionally lit for a video.
I don't think that's what I was going to say. I don't think they did consider that when they were filming things back in those days, did they? There wasn't a lot of consideration for how it would come out on the film.
But in a way, that gives it a bit of sense of history. It was back in the early 80s.
I mean, the setup on stage it was very different, wasn't it? Because
it seemed quite compact for the size of the stage.
Pointer and Mark Kelly in the back corner, but Rothers is between them on the back line there, isn't he? With Pete just in front of Mick, and then it gives Fish all that stage to sort of prowl around and do his.
But I say that they are quite compacted, aren't they? Because we've been to Hammersmith, it's quite a big old stage, and they're very, very central in it.
Yeah. And the setup as well, obviously being the first tour, they've got a huge backdrop with the logo on and the eye. And Leo has found an artifact, which he showed us before we started recording, which is a badge. We are audio only, Leo, so we're going to have to describe what you've got there.
Basically,
showing us all it proudly.
A badge about the size, I don't know, about the size of an eye patch, and it's basically a close-up of the Marillion eye with the black stripe going down from the top to the bottom with the eye in the middle. Yeah. I think I got that at Cardiff, so it's pretty old. I found it the other day.
Well, that was on the backdrop, wasn't it? Underneath the logo. Yeah. And then you've got two sort of screens either side of the logo, small screens, which they projected images onto, but just still images.
Don't forget, they were still a very young, not very well established band. Their budget for staging and lighting must have been pretty small. EMI was investing in them. They were still, it was their first tour. The fact it got to number 7 and they sold out the Hammy Odeon, and it should still be called that, by the way. I won't call it anything else. That they've sold that out in 2 nights running on their first tour was something unbelievable, really.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few crowd shots in the film. And there's lots of people with marquee shirts on and from the Christmas dates. Lots of people with that classic old grey script tour shirt.
That shirt.
I love that. Wasn't it available in a very strange sort of turquoise blue as well? It was sleeveless affair.
I had that until it fell off me, and I went to see Fish in about 2009 at the Exeter Phoenix, and there was this guy standing there in that shirt. And I said, "Oh, where'd you buy that? Is that a replica? Because I'd love to get it, but they won't do the replica because it's the Fish era." He said, "No, it's an original." I thought, blimey, that was back then. That must have been 30 odd years old, and it's still fitting perfectly. I'm thinking, bloody hell, I wouldn't be able to put the shirt on I had in.
He didn't breathe out all night. Is that right?
Was he blue to match it?
A very buff guy, I remember, but. I mean,
I think I saw him at Leicester last year, actually.
It's quite impressive that he still gets into it. He must sniff a bit, but there you go. I would, if they re-release that shirt, I'd buy it, but they won't.
But it's very noticeable seeing how young the audience are as well. There's a lot of like late teens,
very
early
metal.
20s. Very much so. And also, I was quite surprised with how many girls are on the front row as well. You tend to think more of like the H era having a bit more females going to gigs, but I wasn't there in those early days, so I can't really compare.
But when I was at Swansea, we used to go in a small crowd, and a few of them were girls or young women. They weren't just all young blokes. If maybe blokes, let's be honest. But they were a Scottish heavy metal band. That's the audience they used to attract.
But yeah, there's a lot of long hair and a lot of jean tops and things and stuff on there.
There's a lot of banging.
There's quite a few close-ups of some of the females who are singing the lyrics and everything. So yeah, it's very impressive. I mean, we do get in that first track Fish's falsetto as well, don't we? I don't know if you recall that. Towards the end, we get his first falsetto, which obviously, he struggled in later years to recreate.
He sounds fantastic on it, I think.
Yeah,
it has its end of a long tour. Yeah, and they did hundreds of gigs, didn't they, back then?
And it's strange to see. I mean, Rothers doesn't move around a lot now, but he's very static in this, isn't he? Whether that be through nerves or just the position on the stage. Guy, can I just ask you about Rothers playing on this?
Well, the one thing I was going to say about that actually was, I remember when I was watching it, there's a great long guitar solo in the web, and we don't get to see any of it because all we see is Fish destroying a rubber plant at the front of the stage. Yeah. It was one thing that struck me is how much this was aimed at Fish. I remember reading stories about how Phil Collins got pissed off that everybody just thought Genesis were some blokes plus Peter Gabriel, and all the focus was on Peter Gabriel. And I could see how that could have become a problem for Marillion if things had gone on much longer. But even from the start, these guys are playing their hearts out and nobody's interested. They're all just watching the big man at the front doing theatrical stuff.
Theatrical though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So theatrical.
But so far as his playing is concerned, there was a big change between this album and this tour and everything that came later.
Yeah.
I mean, he upgraded his gear considerably. In fact, he was talking about it at the Gorsainen show, that he just bought a Roland Space Echo and various other bits of kit. I mean, he was continually developing his sound. But I don't think anything sounds like the solos off script. Nothing from later.
Well, it's a very different style for him.
Very raw.
It caught me off guard. Yeah, very raw. Yeah, absolutely.
Style though, because if you listen to that marquee show that you saw in December '82, I mean, the soloing in Forgotten Song is absolutely blistering.
Yeah.
And I interviewed Mark for the script deluxe reissue, and he was saying that Rothery was a bit disappointed with the sound that Nick Torby came out for. He took a lot of the edge off Rothery's guitar solos on that album. I mean, they still sound superb, but they weren't as raw as they were in the live setting, and he felt they lost a bit of that magic. In fact, the first solo that Rothery feels he nailed was Incubus. Actually, that's the one he felt best about. Which is ironic.
Yeah, he talks about it in the documentary on the script reissue that he wasn't happy with his sound until Fugazi.
Exactly, and I think it's partly because the producer had different ideas of how they should sound. Because Torba was from more of a new wave and indie background. He wasn't David Henschel. He wasn't a rock sort of prog rock or heavy rock producer. He was much more like Indian, that sort of style.
I mean, he produced the audio on the film as well. So
yeah,
it does sound a little rawer, and there are points in my notes where Brothers is really high in the mix. Not solos, just playing the sort of rhythm stuff. He's really, really high in the mix.
But you compare some of that stuff to that. If you go to deluxe script to listen to that marquee show, the Rothery solos in there are blistering, and they're not quite as For me, I preferred the marquee ones. They were just off the scale. So were those stylos, especially Forgotten Sons. That was fantastic on there. It was good on here, but on the marquee, it was just brilliant. And I remember some older Marillion fans, even back then, was saying that some of what they had on those early gigs was lost a bit on the album, first album. But you're going to get that anyway. You
Yeah, of course.
basically reproduce what's on the live on a
No, I mean,
debut album.
they're trying to achieve two different things, aren't they? Studio
Yeah.
albums have a different sound. The drums are much more to the fore on this live gig too, which
Yeah.
may be why you notice Mick Pointer's shortcomings more, because the drums are just higher in the mix.
I do wonder about the shortcoming. Do we just think that because of what happened, or is it that obvious?
I thought it at the time.
What you thought? What?
I thought they're a great band, but the drummer's not very good. But then I was used to seeing or listening to Phil Collins and Alan White and Bill Bruford and Ian Pace. So to me, Mick Pointer just was wooden, and it was the thing I thought.
Wasn't it? It was
Pedestrian. That's a better word. Yeah.
I don't remember feeling that. I was absolutely bowled away with the Sheffield gig, and I liked all the stuff that you've just talked about. You know, I'd seen Collins with Genesis in '82, at Queen's Hall in Leeds. So
you couldn't see the difference between Mick Pointer and
of
Phil
course you
Collins.
can see the difference, but I mean, look at Garden Party now. It's a rhythm that Fish is trying to get the audience to clap to. Well, even now, it's not in a time that you can clap to. You know, but I don't know. I really feel for him. Obviously, we know what happened, and it was his band.
Oh, it's tragic.
And then to be edged out at that point, just as it's all happening. Yeah. I'm glad he came back. I mean, Arena are a great band, and they've done some great albums. But and it's nice to see Mick in the documentary for Script as well.
Yeah.
Although he refers to Fish throughout that documentary as Derek Dick, with the emphasis on the second syllable there.
He's not incorrect.
No, he's not incorrect.
It's his name.
He never calls him Fish once in that documentary.
I don't think Ian does he? Whenever we speak to Ian about Fish, he still calls him Derek. I mean, he's referred back to it. So
I don't know. I bet Ian doesn't go Derek Dick.
No, Ian gets on better with Fish than any of them.
Yeah. It's great to see
Ian
Pete
gets on anyone.
looking about 14 years old, with a white scarf around his neck, bouncing around.
Bass
was
sounds
that?
fantastic.
Pete.
Oh, Pete, yeah. That's right, when he was playing his old slapping the bass on his thigh routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to see Mr. Kelly with hair as well.
Where
Well,
did all
that's it.
that hair go?
Well, that's it. He's the Mark Kelly's hair outlasted Mick Pointer, and it outlasted Fish, but only by a couple of years. By 1991, it was all over.
Again, another point that you kind of brought up on Facebook, Guy. The second track is Garden Party, and Fish gets the lyrics, or forgets the lyrics.
Yeah.
to the
Yeah,
start
early
of
on,
the
isn't it? Yeah.
verse, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't tidy it up either, do they? Sometimes
No.
they tidy up live albums.
I don't
Anyway,
think
I quite like that.
I don't think they could tidy it up, because he goes on to continue singing the third verse. And so there's no way if he worked out what he'd done wrong and carried on the rest of the second verse, having fluffed the first few lines, they might have been able, because he's turned away from the camera. But then then he's singing, and he has to make a big show of, when he sings it again later, of re-emphasizing the words in a different place, as though he meant to do it.
Yes.
It's quite quaint that they had such a limited budget that nowadays, if they make a DVD or a Blu-ray, like at the Royal Albert Hall, they film the whole thing in the afternoon, and then they film it again in front of the audience at night. So they've got two lots of footage in case anything goes wrong in the evening show. Obviously, they didn't have any what they call coverage, so that they could deal with that. And they still released it, which is surprising, because they didn't release the whole gig. They had the web. They could have not put Garden Party on there, but for whatever reason, they thought. And I tried to find out some stuff about this, but I haven't been able to get through to Mark today to find out And he probably doesn't even remember, and probably had nothing to do with it. Probably wasn't their decision at all. Probably just the EMI deciding what to put out.
I think with the way 1983 was going for them, with the the drummer cycle and everything else, for it to come out in October, there'll have been no time to do anything with it, with her.
No.
And they would have had to have had Garden Party because that was their biggest hit of that.
Yeah.
And it's such, when you think about that song, it's such a unusual song. It's quite what's the word? Satirical. It really is quite biting. It's satire. And this was a hit record, and it's having a go at the class system.
And it's long. It's really long.
7 odd minutes. I think it was just cut for the single, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I think Rothers says in the documentary it's some of Fish's best lyrics.
They are fantastic lyrics.
But had it been a single at this stage, Craig, John, because the video has Andy Ward in it.
It hadn't been a single yet.
It hadn't been a single at the. It wasn't a single at the gig. It was a single by the time the VHS had come out.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It was June because we were at that Penarol gig, and they
Of course, that's where they were. That's right. Yeah,
that was
they
their
were.
That was when they first got on match of the day.
Match of the day.
Top of the pops.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have got a match today. Get a bit more coverage. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But by the time the video came out, Garden
Of
Party,
course, which is why they had to put it on the video, even though it was corrupted.
yeah.
And from there we get 3 boats with Fish chastising the audience for shouting out the songs that were coming next on the set list. Those that had been there the night before.
I think 3 Boats is a real hidden gem for me. I think it's baroque and gothic, and I think it's fantastic. When that was one of the B-sides, I like that almost as much as Grendel. I absolutely love 3 Boats. It did sound very early Genesis. It was also the first song that Mark Kelly had much to do in the writing of, because a lot of these other songs, Brian Jellyman actually wrote the keyboards for. Particularly He Knows You Know and Garden Party. They were Brian Jellyman parts. Mark's very clear about that.
Although not the solo.
No,
Mark wrote the solo.
a lot of the main keyboard parts for those songs are Brian Jellyman. And it is a little bit, when I think back, it's disappointing that initially those Jellyman and Diz Minute did not get credits on those albums.
Yeah.
It took years for Marillion to give them the credit due. And I love Marillion, but that disappoints me that they or their company decided to try not to give them credit was due. There we go.
Okay.
Not
controversial
cool.
Again, Leo. Thank you for that.
It's true though, isn't it?
It's very true, but I'm sure Mr. Arneson might have had something to do with that as well. But moving on.
Sure he did.
From there we go to the web. And I think Leo's already talked about the poor old rubber plant.
Mm.
Do you think Alan Titchmarsh has ever actually forgiven Fish for that, or has he got a thing against him?
This is the one where I've put Rother's solo feels a little bit looser.
Yeah.
And a little less polished, I think, for me. It's got
It
really
sounds
powerful.
good though.
It sounds
Oh,
great.
it sounds incredible, I think.
But not what you kind of used to hearing, obviously, after this.
This was one of my favourites on that first album. It was very Genesis and Camel, and Rothery was a big Camel.
It was one of their first big writes, wasn't it?
It was. It was based on something called Closer.
That's it.
Yeah. So, but it sounds also like Fish has swallowed a dictionary or thesaurus.
Yeah.
Rain auditions at my window, its symphony echoes in my womb. It's like, blimey, mate. No, but it was great.
Doesn't the back of the EP say this was the last ever performance of the web?
The back of the EP says Grendel was originally released on vinyl in October '82, our first ever release on EMI, and an unplanned third encore at Hammersmith Odeon in April '83. The web has not been performed on stage since this show.
Not true.
Well,
it was performed in Gorsinan, and I recorded it. And it was learnt with Andy Ward, and then when Andy Ward was replaced, they didn't learn it again. And just as they didn't relearn Grendel once Ian Mosley joined, and he's never played Grendel, but they did play it that one time before they dropped it.
Okay.
as they started to bring, there were Assassin had been written, and they brought that into the set, and that's when the web gave way. But at that Gore signing show, they played both of them.
And that was the world premiere of Assassin, and
It was.
immense at the time.
Yeah.
I must admit, I was a bit disappointed when it first came out on Fugazi because it sounded tinny, nothing like the live version was like.
No,
it's all back.
I think this is a really powerful version of the web, though, with Fish sort of really going for it. The decisions have been made section with him rocking on his knees at the front with his thumb in his mouth. It looks, I mean, it looks amazing.
That was the first lyric he ever wrote. The web,
Was it?
Yeah. It was based on a poem about the death of Keith Moon. That's why he mentions even jesters cry. There you go.
Very good. Then charted the single.
Oh no!
Ooh.
It's quite a long version of it as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It's painful for me. I think it's painful. It was actually, I've always hated it, but I listened to it. I do remember actually enjoying it live. But if it ever comes on as a record, it's just for me the painful puns he puts.
I find it quite fun.
In Paris, it's like, oh, Gordon Bennett.
I think he's very much of its time, isn't it?
But what is interesting about that one is in the background, Rothery is soloing away.
Yeah.
Holding that song together because it's actually really quite a basic song, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, Pointer's doing his thing, and it's got the same beat all the way through. The thing that makes it interesting, apart from Fish's painful lyrics, is Rothery's the way he's in the background just improvising. I think it sounded good. It sounded better than I remembered, to be honest, because I used to like that was my going to the toilet song.
Okay. On to Chelsea Monday.
Hello, John.
Seemed to standard about 4 hours ago.
But doing a better accent than Fish did.
I think mixed drumming actually helps this. That leaden drumming helps the song. I'm getting no help here, folks. Nobody's agreeing with this.
Amazing. There's one thing I noticed that on the Blu-ray and the DVD, they don't half go alpha leather with the dry ice in this.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
It goes a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're trying to do it for atmospherics, but trying to make it look like a Hammer horror film's a bit much.
There's a lot of Pete on this one as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pete's fantastic. He pins us down.
Yeah.
But when I spoke to Mark about this, he's saying how simple this song is. He says people often think Marillion songs are quite complicated. He was saying the thing about Chelsea Monday's got 4 chords that just go round and round, and then we move the key with the same 4 chords around and round and around, and then there's a guitar solo, and we drop back down again. It's literally the same 4 chords with a modulation in the middle. And when he told me that, I realised it is, but sometimes less is more.
Garden Party is a very simple song too.
It is, yeah.
It's only got 3 chords in it. There was another, Freaks is a very simple song. Just repeats the same bit over and over again. Beep, 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 beep. It just does that all the way through the song, except there's one bit in the middle which is different, and then it comes back to it.
That's true.
I think Fish is epic on this version of Chelsea Monday. I think his performance is amazing.
Yeah.
And then he dishes out some Ribena to the crowd, which obviously clearly isn't Ribena.
I got.
Do we have anybody respond who was at the gig at Hammersmith who's in the video?
Not yet.
Or presumably they'd be on this
So
podcast. If they
actually, no. There is somebody who said they were at the gig.
There's a few people said they were at the gig.
But we're going to interview that person about something else to do with Marillion shortly. So that's why they're not on here now.
I just can't believe that guy who gets picked up during Grendel is not a huge fan of Fish and Marillion. I just, he would be making a beeline to your door saying, that was me. Maybe he's dead.
Tim Sidwell.
I don't know. Moving on. He knows you know.
Oh.
It's a very solid version, this.
I actually think this is Pointer's best song.
I agree.
Really good drumming on this. This might be the one with the Anyway, I just thought it was really complimentary. It's also one of his favourite songs with Marillion, and you can tell.
It's just a great tune.
Yeah, it is.
But lots of
Obviously, Steve
dramatics.
Hogarth would disagree with you,
He's never
saying
done
as
it.
they've never played it since he joined the band.
Well,
So
it's not really. It's not his sort of lyric, is it?
Is it any less his kind of lyric than Script for a Jester's Tear?
I think he can probably see something in the words, you know, in the writing.
Yeah, the words being
just not there.
We've got to play Script for a Jester's Tear.
Well,
those being the relevant words.
All right. maybe not.
But yeah, Fisher does a very dramatic performance on this.
I think he
really
does. Yeah, he's
goes
great.
for it. And it's just back in the times where he was using the mic as a needle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
very dramatic. To be fair to Hogarth, it would be hard for him to identify with lyrics like singing psychedelic praises to the depths of a china bowl.
I don't know. You listen to his podcast.
Hey, we're not on here to be slagging off the other podcast now.
Oh, no. The podcast is fine. It's just he talked about vomiting quite a lot.
What's about drinking a lot as well? Yeah, but
yeah, there's been certain substances used, but I don't think they've gone down those lines.
No.
I love that version on that show.
Yeah. And then into the epic Forgotten Sons with quite a long intro from Derek.
Yeah,
and that's on the DVD and the Blu-ray. That's one of the things that was retained.
Yeah,
surprisingly, I think.
I don't know. I mean, it kind of explains the song a little more, so that's probably why it's there. But and again, this is sort of epic Fish with the combats and the using the mic stand as a gun and then as a bayonet as well. But really staring out the front row as well, which I think is really effective.
It's incredibly theatrical.
Yeah, and also as well when he in the preamble, the talk before it, where he says it, when they wrote it, it wasn't meant to be a political statement, but it has become so.
Yeah,
and it's definitely a piece for its time as well.
Yeah, as is the introduction, and it's when I watched it again, it made me cringe a little bit because even at the time, I don't think anybody was paying much attention to what Marillion was singing about. And, even more so in retrospect, I think the song stands on its own merits. You don't have to deliver this big speech about it as though it's something very important. In global terms, it's not an important song. It's not Give Peace a Chance. And he's trying to magnify to his fan base that he's writing something important.
I just get the impression that he's got a platform which he's never had before.
If you don't mind saying, Guy, I think that's quite a cynical way of looking at it. I think he wants to get his message across.
Yeah.
It meant a lot to him.
It worked for me.
Guys his age, our age at the time, going across to Northern Ireland and getting blown up and shot at and whatever. I actually think he really meant it. I don't think it was a...
And I think if he's looking out at the audience as well and seeing the young lads and the young people in the audience are exactly the same age as the squaddies over there in Northern Ireland or whichever theatre of war or whatever was going on, even a year previous in the Falklands and stuff, it's all.
I don't have a problem with the message of the song. It's the acting like they are more important than they really are. Like, nobody cares whether it was written as a political song. Nobody cares. Nobody cared at the time, apart from him. And I also think it was written as a political song. So I think that's just typical Fish nonsense.
Yeah. Oh, it's clearly political. But I don't think they were acting it or he was trying to ham it up. I think it really meant something to him. Anyway.
I think it was a taste of what was to come, because there was lots more of that, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And from there, that's the last song of the set. And obviously then we got the footage of the band sort of in the backstage area,
firing Mick,
high-fiving Mick and John Anderson, and then Fish lights up in front of a sign that says no smoking. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
what a rebel.
Yeah. just Ian's taking that lead now, hasn't he? And then weirdly, the film has Market Square Heroes as the first encore, but I believe on the night it was Grendel. So they've kind of reversed this in the film.
Although according to your back of your EP, it says it was an unexpected third encore, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
So is that also a lie?
It's an untruth.
Okay.
It's a porky.
And it's the end of the video as well. So, you know.
That's I mean, we haven't got to the credits yet.
No,
we're
no,
going to
we're
get
not
to the
there
credits. Okay, we're not there yet.
Not there
Okay,
yet.
right.
We're not there
But
yet.
it's funny watching Market Square Heroes and seeing the crowd jumping up and down. I mean, if that happened nowadays, there'd be everybody reporting to the A&E straight afterwards with pulling
I don't know.
something.
You
I
can't
don't
get
know.
the
Some of us still go for it, and they play their convention shows where they're all up tempo songs. I love it.
I mean, it's great because they've got there appears to be a section at the front with the people pogoing, and then a cameras behind them, doesn't there?
Yes, yeah. There's a few this seems like a handheld camera.
Like a
at
pit,
some points, like a few people in. Yeah.
And these are back. This is back in the day when they let Derek have some drums as well.
Yeah, there wasn't the thing of saying like they let them have
Air
it,
gap.
but like nothing was mic'd or plugged in. It's a bit like H with his guitar, isn't it? You know, they do a similar thing for the lead singer. They just pat him on the head and let him get on with it.
Well, after this, he's got 3 toms on this, hasn't he? And then on the Fugazi tour, I think he got a couple of bongos, and then from there on in, this suddenly lost all that. And Fish throws the sticks out into the crowd. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Take somebody's eye out.
That's probably why that young kid hasn't shown up again, because he threw it in
He's got one eye, yeah.
straight in his eye socket.
Did you say Fish threw the sticks out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fish.
You didn't say, Mick, you're not going to need those anymore.
No. He throws his own sticks out. No.
Mick, you don't need yours now. Come on, give us yours.
It's like when he high fives him at the end, and there's a P45 in his hand when he comes over.
Wow.
And there's flyers out the front saying "Drummer wanted" that handed out as the audience is leaving.
It's very unfair, Mr. Pointer. True, though.
We'll be in love.
Yes, I'll move on. From there, it goes into Grendel. What
But it
else?
segues into Grendel.
It does. It
merges
does.
into
It's weird.
it.
It's weird.
strange.
Yeah, I resented that when I heard it the other day. I thought, well, that's painful.
Mm.
It's very strange to go from the high tempo of Market Square Heroes into the beginning of Grendel. And again, I think Rothers is really high in the mix on this.
It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even in the rhythm sections, it's really high. Yeah, not really soloing.
There's no explanation for Grendel either, which probably there should be a little bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, as you say, it's on the back of the EP, but I'm sure we've all seen that footage now, haven't we? With Fish with the mask and pulling the guy with the sleeveless denim top out of the crowd. I think it's Guy. I think it's Guy is just trying to deflect. It's you, Guy, isn't it?
Not me. No, I wish. I'd have dined off it for.
I was going to say you'd have dined out on it before
right.
now if it was.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We'd all love to be slaughtered by Fish.
Do you not think the young lad looks frightened though?
He does.
You not
although
be.
After a bit, he looks like he's going to laugh. There's one
Yeah.
bit where he starts to crack a grin. They cut away very quickly.
Yeah.
But also, you're dragged up in stage in front of. I mean, what's it like? 3,500 plus
3,500,
people
yeah.
at Hammersmith. I mean, it possibly even more with it being standing on there. But yeah, but one thing I've noticed a lot in Grendel in particular, there's a lot of crowd shots with the fans singing along to it.
There are,
And I
yeah,
think it's more.
yeah.
I think
And
it's more
female
so,
fans singing along as
and
well.
female fans singing along to it, and it's quite funny. The only thing that gives me shudders and flashbacks, it's somewhere in London, John, me and you on the front row, and we actually get caught singing along because Lucy's pointed it out on numerous occasions to most toys, so we can't take the
I
piss.
don't
can
have
we?
an issue with most toys. I'm all right with it. It's up there with Grendel, is most toys for me.
I wish you told me about that. I'd have probably not.
Yeah, thanks. So, apologies, Leo. Yeah, anything else you want to add about this performance of Grendel?
I think it's a great performance. For a long time, this performance and the one from Reading, which we all taped off the radio, were the only two live versions of Grendel that we could get. And they were both marred. You've just described this one. The one at Reading is marred because they're in the process of miking up Black Sabbath on the other stage, and you can hear them kind of talking and making noises over the beginning guitar
There was
part
like
of it.
some sort of Eastern.
It's like a
playing over the
like
beginning.
one of those air horns. Isn't
Air
it,
horn
at the
type
beginning?
thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, don't know
Yeah.
what was going on there, but
But
yeah,
now
this
we've
was
got
the-
umpteen versions of it.
oh, I
haven't we?
know. Yeah, it could be Easter. We've got
No,
some-
no, it's not. It's not quite an Easter, not quite an Easter territory. But yeah, we've got a few. We've got a few.
I mean, I used to think Grendel was genius when I was 18.
Yeah.
It's genius. I loved Supper's Ready. Dare I mention it? And now I look back at it more fondly, nostalgically, and I realise it is highly derivative. It was a young band paying homage to the heroes. I think in a way it's been a double-edged sword for Marillion. It got a lot of people excited, my sort of generation excited. We had our own heroes doing epics, but it did hang that Genesis wannabe sign around their neck for years. And years later, I was talking to people when they'd stopped being anything like Marillion 4 or 5 hours before, and they tell them they're just trying to be like Genesis.
Oh, it's
They-
lazy.
they'll never lose that tag.
No,
So it
well,
was double-edged.
I think it worked at the time, though. I mean, that's why 2 or 3 of us are here.
Certainly.
yeah, they
Yeah.
they are embarrassed by it to the extent that when we were talking about, and I've told John this before, about box sets, there's plenty of material that they could have put a box set out around the Grendel EP. There's so many live shows that were recorded for the radio or off the soundboard at the time. There's video, but they just don't want anything to do with it. They just don't want to forget about Grendel.
I think at this point we have to say hello, Claude, if you're listening.
He will be.
yeah.
Claude's campaigning for a 16 album box set of pre-script stuff, but Guy, you've alluded to something you want to say about the credits on the film.
I always found it strange from the minute it happened that in the credits, after giving the name of everybody who's performed, there's a statement. This was Mick Pointer's last performance with the band.
Oh, yeah.
Which struck me at the time as almost an apology. It's like, don't worry, we've got rid of him. We'll be better from now on. I didn't understand why that was even there. It still sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
Was there even a thanks?
It was a what?
Was there even a thanks, or just this?
No, it just says that.
no.
That's all.
This was Mick Pointer's last performance with the band.
It lists the band lineup, and then the next screen says that.
I didn't get that.
I know, and I just found that a bit harsh. It's bad enough that he got fired. To stick that on the end, to me, it's almost like an acknowledgement that his drumming on the video isn't that good. So don't worry about it, lads. We fixed that problem. We got rid of him. We brought somebody else in now, or several somebody else's in.
Not for 4.
Yeah. It was a weird thing. I've never seen something like that on any other live recording by any other band. It's just a peculiar way to go about things.
Yeah. Did you notice Andy Field and Paul Lewis on the credits?
Yeah.
I think it's a great, it's a great recording of the start of the career.
In a way, John, I think it's a pity for me that it was just a video. It was a great video, and then they brought out the video EP a bit later.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if they brought that out as a live album earlier, rather than it was well into the 90s before they brought it.
2009 it came out.
I mean, I missed it because it came out so late. You know, it just sort of like got missed entirely by me.
Because it came out the same time, wasn't it? The same time as when they did the live from
Less is
Lorelei
more and
double
all that.
CD.
Yeah.
Don't worry, if you've got 292 quid lying around, you can get yourself a copy now.
Yeah.
If you've got 30 quid that's some on Discogs, you don't need to pay that, all right?
I mean, as a live document for early Marillion, it's far better than that mishmash Thieving Magpie, because that's taken from about 3 or 4 different tours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with
More.
Thieving Magpie either, but yes, it is taken from 4 gigs, I think. Yeah.
Whereas this is a whole show. For me, was more representative. Nothing wrong with Thieving Magpie, but for me, it's a mishmash. It's like a greatest live hits rather than. I prefer having a show like that.
I do, but I've no problem with that because it's got some Sheffield tracks on Thieving Magpie, and I was at the Sheffield gig, so on the Fugazi tour, so I'm quite all right with that. But yeah, if you've not got it, I'm sure it's on streaming, Craig, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's
It's-
on. It's on all your streamers.
It's on your streamers. If you can get a copy of the DVD, or just buy the script box set if you've not got it. It's still around about £30 in the UK.
Yeah, it's on Amazon for 30
by
quid.
Craig.
Well, it's a box set.
It is. It's on the
The
Blu-ray.
video. Yeah.
Oh, video, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the Blu-ray.
But
Cool.
this is what we've thought of Recital of the script. Do you think it's over to John and Craig to read out? I'll not call it what we keep calling it in private. The Facebook
It's our readers'
comments.
wives section is what he's trying not to say. We asked our listeners what they thought of Recital of the script. So here it comes. Do you know, back in April on our Facebook group, we asked you what
Who
you
did it? Who did it?
Me. I asked you on behalf of him and me, what do you think of Recital of the script? Were you a fan back in 83? And were you at the gig on the 18th of April, 1983? And again, we've had some lovely comments back, some great views and memories.
It's like
And we're
30
gonna
odd plus, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to give you some of the highlights. Is what? We had, 35. We'll start with someone that was there, and we alluded to him in the conversation. Mark Colton said, I was at the gig that night, ... and then doesn't tell us any more about it.
Yeah. We'll ask him when we see him in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
Mark McCormack of this very parish and of this very Marillion Marco's Museum had a bootleg of the show before the video was released. Does that surprise me in the slightest? Not at all. So I knew these versions inside out beforehand. There were many better shows from that time, but it is what it is, and it's amazing we have such a document of that time.
Absolutely. Seamus Colgan, friend of the pod, says, Buddy, as you know, I'm somewhat of a newbie and very much a H fan. That being said, this is a feckin' excellent recording of a very powerful live performance. The band is on fire. Fish, an amazing singer and performer. The set is perfect, especially because you get the whole shebang, Forgotten Sons and Grendel spiel. The extras at the marquee are wonderful, wonderfully raw and exciting. It's just surprising how young the audience is. Well, we were back then. I'd simply say it's essential for Marillion fans, new and old.
Interesting one here, Mandy Brain. Me and my new boyfriend were at that show. We watch it every April the 18th, a very special night. Oh, still together after all these years.
Yeah. Ian Trott says, I think I wore out my VHS copy back in 1984. And Phil Myland replied, me too. I think it was 1999. I think Guy alluded to that. It was very expensive when it came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, videos back in the day, you got to remember that when it wasn't till like the late 80s where you used to get like a VHS for like $9.99. Before that, you know, they were like 15 quid or even before 86 or 85, 86. If you wanted to buy a video cassette of a film or something like that, it would cost you like 50, 60, 70 quid.
Yeah.
Because they were designed for the rental market. Oh, I've rolled out. Felicity Pryke, again of this pod. God, I practically memorized this. My dad had a recorded version on VHS. I must have almost wore the tape out.
Andy King says, I am a fan from 82. I wasn't at the Hammy Odeon in 83 as I was a student. I watched it recently and I'm amazed at how pedestrian songs like Garden Party and Market Square Heroes were with Mick Pointer drumming. Fish looks so young. It was wonderful at the time, but they're much better live now.
Keith Wickenden. I started work in 1985 and with my wages I bought a video player. This was the first tape I bought to play on it. Played it to death at the time, but never watch it now. Such a shame it wasn't the full show.
Yeah. Simon White says, I was there on the 18th. I became a fan after buying Market Square Heroes 12-inch single. Can't remember where I heard it first, possibly Tommy Vance, and was amazed that this type of music was being made in the 80s. Sadly, I was too young for the heyday of prog in the 70s, so it's great to have some prog I could call my own.
John Paul Coyle. After watching Live in Lorelei first, this video seemed slow and very dated. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there is a massive change between 83 and 87. You know, how the albums progressed, you know, between Script, Fugazi, Misplaced, and Clutch in such a short period of time that they developed so fast.
Yeah. Graham Tennick says, I was a late comer to the band a year after this. Absolutely love it. Watched it for years on VHS until the machine chewed it up. I've now got the double feature version from Stoke Road to Ipanema. It's a great record of how much fire there was under them and the fans at the time.
Kevin Gower. It's great because you see me in the audience. Otherwise, it would have been rubbish and not at all a wonderful and emotional gig.
George Greaves says, essential viewing, probably not the only one here that still has the VHS. What a terrible waste of rubber plant.
Indeedy. Andy Bliss, love it. End of. And Mark Ross, yep, me and 3 mates were there on the 18th of April 1983. They're coming out of the woodwork now, aren't they?
Yeah. Warren Breeze says it shows how much video technology has progressed over the years. Back in the 80s, gigs appeared to be quite dark when filmed on video. And speaking of video and expertise on video, Andrew Barnsley Wood comments, gold.
Catherine Voigt has got some interesting stuff, yeah. What a compelling performance from Fish and Forgotten Sons. Love his theatrical and emphatic take on it. Ring a roses, they all fall down. She's got My Darling Rothers, ever so sweet, nicely combed, sporting the ubiquitous Steve Hackett Prog Academy haircut, having an almost Jesus-like aura about him. Possibly the most sexiest guitarist on the planet at that time. Swagger. And Grendel loved Mark's subtle motif from the Hound's Freeze and Silence onwards, and I would carry on listening to Rother's solo forever and ever. And our favourite moment when Fish literally looks like a sulking toddler just being collected from Waldorf kindergarten, sucking his thumb in comfort after having a thorough tantrum amidst the rubber plants in the web.
Well, the last word in these highlights goes to Claude Etard. Claude
Where's
says,
me deluxe, he says.
He does not
super duper deluxe.
Amazingly, he doesn't
16
say that.
discs.
But what he does say, you won't be surprised at, is, I still have the audio bootleg from that time. You don't say, Claude. It's a blessing that we have this video footage, although some intelligent person deleted the rest of the footage. What a great moment for the band.
Claude, I love you. You're a legend.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. There's a few more. If we haven't read everything out, there's a few more on there, so please go and have a look. And if you've not joined already, join our Facebook group for Planet Marzipan for just more Marillion chat, really. With that, I'll hand back to him and me.
It does. Hey.
Earlier on today, we spoke to Scott Evans, who's been on the pod a long time ago, talking about Fugazi, about his memories of this.
And he couldn't join us tonight because he runs a venue called the Artisan Tap in Stoke-on-Trent. So he's working this evening. So we caught up with him this afternoon.
Okay, well, we're going to welcome back to the podcast an old friend of ours who hasn't been on since episode 5 or something, was it? What was the Fugazi one?
It's
We
a
welcome
long
a
time
long,
ago.
long time ago.
Because
in
he's
the
been
mists of time.
busy. He's
He's
been
busy.
very, very busy.
Building an
He's got
enterprising gigs
yeah.
venue.
He hasn't got time for the likes of us.
I know. He's basically on his lunch hour, folks. So I've got him now. We welcome back Scott Evans.
Yay!
Hey, hello, Scott.
Hello, chaps. Good
How
to
are
be
you?
back. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes. Thank you very much.
Good.
And
Well, you went down really well on the Fugazi episode. It's one of our most listened to episodes, actually.
yeah. It was good. It was fun. It was fun talking about Fugazi and yeah, listening back to it, and yeah, sounded like I half knew what I was on about.
Well, you did. And wasn't
Yeah.
that where we learned about you getting your T-shirt sleeve ripped off?
Oh,
or
I think it
something?
might have been actually. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to
Yeah.
know more, listeners, go back and listen to the Fugazi episode because he's not going to talk
Absolutely.
about that here.
Yeah. Yeah, listen to the one person who streams She Chameleon as well still. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, you were, if nothing else, you were there as a supporter of She Chameleon,
Yeah, absolutely.
of the studio version as opposed to the live version that preceded it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. We've got Scott on because he's an old school Marillion fan. Still listens to him now, I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And Scott is here because he's picked his venue is called the Artisan Tap in Stoke, and they do have gigs most nights, but on certain nights they do show live films, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it was something I thought I'd start just to see if there was any interest in it. I think I started with Brian Wilson's Smile, and that one went down well. And then I started working through but basically anything in my DVD or Blu-ray collection.
Sure, not anything, surely. I know you sat next to your wife now, but not anything.
It was like, I was thought, well, if I start with that, and I wanted to try to make it credible, because we're like a venue it's quite quirky, you know. I mean, we do mainly original music, but we have the odd tributes on, but those tributes are quirky. They'll be like Devo, or we do have a Marillion tribute, or Alex Harvey, etc. We've had the Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense film. We had Gary Newman's Perfect Circle. And obviously Marillion. We actually got requested. We had a few people ask for Marillion, so I've actually got two. I've got one later in the year, because one was the Marillion at Albert Hall. People have been asking.
All one tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, so the first one I've got is Recital of the Script.
Okay.
Yeah. Old school.
Back to the beginning. I mean, I forget, you weren't into the band at Script, were you?
No, I don't. No, I got
too
bought
young.
the album from my mum, but I was like 11. Yeah.
It's a poor excuse. It's a poor. It's Craig's. That's Craig's.
It's my excuse. I'm sticking with
Poor
it.
Yeah. So for me, that show holds happy memories watching it on video, because it was quite, magical. And what I like about the most current DVD is obviously you get the whole show together, because Grendel came out as a separate EP, didn't it? Yeah.
It's not quite the whole show, according to Setlist FM, because they played Margaret, which.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
And
Yeah.
Three Boats Down from the Candy is on the CD, but not on the DVD.
Right.
Sorry, being a bit anal there, but
no. Facts.
But I must admit, there was a long time when this was the only live Marillion film that there was until Lorelei came out, wasn't there?
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's
period,
a very different band then as well, aren't they? Obviously same people, but there's a very different vibe to it. I think Recital the Script kind of captures that early essence of you know, the makeup and the strange clothing and the smoke.
But there's that punky element that they had back in those days, which
yeah. I mean,
great to hear.
yeah, and not only that, you can see people really going for it, can't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. I do enjoy watching that. I've not actually watched it for a while now, so I'm proper looking forward to
saving yourself for the screen.
I am. Yes, yeah. And yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how many folks turn up. You know, we normally get a decent crowd for them, and we've got like quite a big screen for the size of the venue, and a 4K projector. So
nice.
Yeah, it's a good evening. It's like you know, it's a proper sort of music nerds kind of night, if you like. Yeah, because most people then sit around talking about it for ages. So yeah, it's something that we do at least once a month now. So we've got Steve Wilson coming up, actually, the Home Invasion show.
Have you? Oh, brilliant!
Yeah. That's one on coming up alongside. Or what else we got? We've got U2 rattling on.
Yeah.
Just for the comedy value of that one, I think. It's got some fun. We got David Gilmour.
Which one?
Oh crikey! It's I think it's live in London. I think it might.
Remember that night?
David Gilmour. Do you know what it's actually called? David Gilmour in concert. I'm just looking at
yeah, we were at that, Craig, weren't we? Where's that?
We were the first Royal Albert Hall.
No, not the Albert, the one before that.
Oh, the Royal Festival Hall.
Festival Hall, yeah,
that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah, we didn't go to the night that was recorded for that because we were the night where Robert Wyatt was on doing
shipbuilding.
Yeah, but we were with the first Royal Albert Hall. Remember the night? Well, we were there for that one.
We were there the night that Bowie came out. Yeah.
Yes, we were.
Amazing. Ooh. The only time I've seen Bowie. Well, obviously you can't now, but the only time I ever saw Bowie was there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. And one for you, John. We've got Morrissey in Dallas.
Oh, do you know? I think I'm busy that night.
You're washing your hair.
Are you washing your clothes that night?
Whenever it is. Yeah, you know me and Morrissey.
Aye.
I think he's playing in our garden, but I can't get out there at the minute. No.
I might just cancel the Morrissey one on the night.
Yeah, that would be true to life. Yeah.
Oh no, you just have that as a special night where you got burgers and stuff and that on.
Yeah. So so you get the vibe anyway. Yeah, we have these films on. We never know who's going to come. They're all free entry. So
are they? Brilliant.
Yeah.
What about your venue in Stoke?
It's in Harts Hill. The area's called. It's kind of just on the border of Stoke, going into Newcastle, and yeah, it's started to become quite a popular area now.
Have you gentrified it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So if there's anyone listening who wants to come down. Say
go say hello to Scott.
Absolutely.
Go say hello to Jane.
And Jane.
Yeah. And we can all cheer when he pulls that plant apart. I don't know whether I'll be doing a live reenactment on the night with
I'll terrorise this young kid he brings out of the audience.
Has anyone ever contacted that kid? Does anyone know who he is?
I don't know. It was the lad with the blonde hair and the sawn off denim top, isn't it? Yeah.
He looks shit scared. I don't know whether he was.
Would you?
Yeah, I don't know. I never know whether he was a plant or like not the plant, but a plant.
It doesn't look like it. Looking at his face, you say, he looks scared.
Yeah.
I mean, Fish was. I mean, he has his moments later on in life, but he was pretty scary at that point, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah.
Full head of hair, wearing that bloody sackcloth with the eye on it.
Yeah. And at that point, he's got the metal mask on as well, hasn't he? So,
Yeah. He's got the mask on. Yeah.
it's quite
Very-
intense.
Very strange. But yeah. And you've got you say you've got Marillion tribute coming. You've got Silurian coming to see you.
Yes, we have. Yeah, I think that's May the 17th. That's always
afternoon.
a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, they normally play for about 3 hours, and yeah, it's good fun. They are excellent. Always sells out.
Yeah,
So if you want a hot, sweaty Sunday afternoon, that's the place to be. Yeah.
It will be, because we're coming down for it.
Yeah, we're coming to see Scott and Jane
Really
and the
looking forward
Silurian
to it.
boys.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be brilliant. Really looking forward to that.
It should
So
be
yeah, and yeah, we've branched out trying to do more prog rock.
I see. Who have you got coming then? So I've
Well,
looked into me listening
we-
today. Was it High Spy? Are they coming?
Yes, yeah, we got High Spy that are kind of Russian feel. Yeah, we've just had a good weekend of prog. We had Saturday night. We had Legs on Wheels. That if you've not heard Legs on Wheels, they are just outstanding. For me, the best live band out there at the moment.
Do they sound like anybody at all, or are they just kind of their own thing?
I would say that they sound very early Genesis,
right?
Mixed with Cardiacs. They're really young lads, so I like how they've managed to perfect the sound that they've done. They've not gone out to say, "Oh, we want to sound like Genesis." They've got together, they've wrote some songs, and everyone said to them, "You sound like early Genesis."
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, well worth checking out videos and stuff. And it's great because it was the third time we've had them on, and it keeps building and building. They like playing here, and yeah, we had actually a few Cardiacs and Marillion fans and Genesis fans turn up for it this time. And
are they a local band or are they not?
Manchester.
All right, okay, yeah.
Definitely worth checking out. If you want to watch a really good video, check out The Big Squeeze, it's called.
Okay.
By Legs on Wheels. Yeah.
Definitely do that. And have you had Grace, or had Grace come?
Grace played Sunday night as well.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a real phenomenal. I mean, we've had Grace a few times, but they really went to town on this show, and you know that they're getting on in age. I mean, they've been around about 45 years now, something like 50 years. But they played some stuff off their 1980 album on Sunday that they'd not played for a while. And I didn't realize, because I don't think you can get hold of that album, just how proggy they were. They played a song called George the Commuter, and it's the most Palace sounding song.
Okay.
You can imagine. More Palace than Palace.
Really? This is back when you were a prog rock star, though, isn't it?
Well, we were sort of 10 years later than that. But
all right. But Grace was still around then, weren't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's when they were touring a lot, playing gigs a lot, and when they there was a lot more theatrics in it. So Harry, who was their charismatic sort of second singer, flute player, saxophonist, he also used to there was one song where he famously always used to get out a rubber chicken, and he was always flogging himself with this rubbing chicken. People loved it.
I think you had to be there.
Yeah, I think you did have to be there. It's like ripping up a plant on stage.
Yeah, you had to be there. Yeah. And not a member of the Horticultural Society.
Yeah, so we've had quite a proggy weekend just gone. So yeah, we got High Spy, and I think we've had Candy Craig on a couple of times.
I know. I really want to. They
did
their brave thing there, didn't they?
Yeah, and that was great. That was.
I saw it in Lincoln. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah. It was just nice, just a different way of looking at it. It was great, yeah, and I really enjoyed their songs as well. And then we had them back as well, and we're just working on. I don't know actually whether you're supposed to say or not, but there's another band they're doing a kind of offshoot thing, and they're looking for venues at the moment in November, and so but I best not say anything in case it's not public knowledge or anything. For the 3 or 4 fans that they might have, yeah.
Wow. Well, it's certainly not on Craig's radar, that, yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen them support. They supported Frost in Leeds.
Yeah.
Interesting. Just 2 guys in the line of buy. So.
Yeah, yeah. So I when I was in Encircled, we supported them down at that festival. I forgot what it was called. That festival. Was it Fusion? Might have been called. Yeah. Fusion. Yeah. They were on straight after us.
Right.
Obviously, couldn't compete with the might that was Encircled.
They
but,
were blown off the stage by Encircled. Obviously.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what else we showed as well. We showed Peter Gabriel Growing Up.
Did you?
Yeah, that one.
Not Secret World.
Not Secret World. No,
Growing Up's good, don't you?
Yeah, we'll get to Secret World. I mean, I've had a soft spot for Growing Up, and it's one of the best Blu-ray conversions I think I've had on the music films. And so, I mean, as I say, this is all very self-indulgent. This is all for my collection. So if no one turns up, that's on me, you know. But
if no one turns up, you're having a DVD night, you know.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm watching things. But a lot of people turned up for the Peter Gabriel one. I was pleasantly surprised.
Great. Have you not done 101 as well?
Yeah, we did Depeche Mode 101, yeah. Yeah, quite a few people turned up for that as well, which again, you know, for a film that's it was from the late 80s, mid 80s, I think. Yeah, it's fantastic, you know, they still come out. But, you know, a film like that, I suppose you don't get to see on the big screen. Coming through, all the music comes through the PA as well, so
it's got some power to it.
Yeah, real powerful, yeah. So yeah, that's good.
Brilliant. And is it this? Do you get kind of same crowd sometimes for these films, or is it?
You get the odd person who comes every other one and everything, but generally it's always new people, which is all, yeah. It's great, and you get some people who are just interested. You know, there was a few of that with Peter Gabriel. Go, I don't really know much Peter Gabriel, and then they watch the whole show and just blown away by it. Which I think is great. I'm doing my part.
Be interesting to see with people coming to see this for the first time. If they do, what's Marillion like? Yeah, they're not like that now. They're not like that now.
Absolutely, yeah. And if Peter Gabriel is listening to this, he can reciprocate by doing a warm-up show at the Artisan Tap in Arts Hill just before he plays some arenas. Yeah.
I don't know if did you see that they were doing an offer for a residential week at Real World where they stripped back the So album and the producer pulled it apart. And did you see that?
I did see that. Yeah.
If you signed up, you got the price. Do you want to have a guess how much it was?
Is it in the sort of grand mark? Is it? Yeah.
$5,500.
Crikey!
It was Tuesday to Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, they went through the whole of the album, deconstructed it, and went through the producer's chair and everything. It sounded amazing. I'd love to have done it.
I mean, that would be fascinating, wouldn't it?
It would,
yeah.
If you won the lottery.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But yeah, crikey, $5,000.
Yeah. So, if Peter is listening, you know, if there's any spare rooms or anything, just give us a shout.
Yeah.
We'd love to review it. We'll review it.
If he is listening as well, I don't think the Artisan Tap can accommodate you walking upside down on the ceiling. he might collapse. But yeah, it's all good. But brilliant. Yeah, keeping the Marillion fire burning.
Cool. Well, just to tie this back to what we're reviewing in this episode, have you got any memory? I know you haven't watched it for a bit, but have you got any other memories of Recital of the Script?
I think just that was my first time kind of seeing them before I then actually saw them live on stage. So I think it just added to the mysticism that I'd got from listening to Script for Jester's Tear and Fugazi and thinking, what is this mystical music? And everything about it, the way that the lights are, the smoke are, the rest of the band as they're playing. Pete with his big floppy hair.
And his scarf, his white scarf.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And they were kind of never like that again, were they? It's
No,
such a
well-
one-off snapshot of period of
Having read the books and stuff now, I mean, it's so Machiavellian because the following day they sacked Mick Pointer.
I know. It's
You know,
crazy.
You see that footage of them at the end where they go off between the main set and the encore and they're stuck in the stairway and everyone's sort of smiling and high-fiving and John Arnison's there, and, you know. And he's just thinking, well, you knew you were going to sack him. How rubbish is that?
I know. It's quite cutthroat, isn't it, when you think about it? I mean, there's no doubt because when you listen to any script songs that are now or a few years later were played by Ian, they've got a much more powerful backing to them. So you can see why they did it, but it wasn't like he was horrendous on that show by any means. I mean,
I was going to say, I mean, I was watching it with one ear on the drums, and the worst bit is the first bit. It's the intro to script. After that, he's brilliant. It's really powerful. It's relatively in time. But the bit at the beginning of script just isn't great. Yeah.
But it's funny though, isn't it? Yeah, because I don't think you could really see Mick Pointer doing like Misplaced Childhood. I'm just not really sure that. That's where I think Ian. Well, Fugazi even. Yeah. So
I mean the it's well documented what happened after that. It's just watching it with the knowledge of what was coming next. Very strange.
Yeah.
Very
and
strange.
of course I said it earlier, but obviously in the days of VHS and stuff, you also the Grendel and it was Webb as well, wasn't it?
It
were
was
separate
Webb,
on a video EP, which I'm not sure if any other band in history has ever done a video EP. I don't know, but
they have, because Picture Music. It was a thing that Picture Music International did quite a lot. There's a Queen one, there's Floyd one.
Yeah, they did it for the final
cut. Yeah. There's Queen ones. What else? Other artists that were on EMI at that time. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Pet Shop Boys.
I thought that was one of the most striking covers as well as a youngster.
With the mask on.
Yeah, the mask with the web behind it. So I mean, pretty to the point. But I had that T-shirt as well. It was a nice dark blue T-shirt.
You didn't put it on today?
No, well, I mean, it'd be more like a glove now.
It's a crop top.
I don't think even a crop top, more like the neckerchief.
You could wear it like Pete's scarf.
Yeah, and I didn't get bitten by a dog watching it. So
I know. Well, that's always a bonus, isn't it? It's
all positives. Yeah. But that was the kind of my only view of them until I saw them on Clutching at Straws tour. Which was my first gig. Which then we go into Doggate then.
We do, and again, go back and listen to the Fugazi episode, folks, for more of Doggate.
Yeah, Doggate.
Well, look. It's been great to get you back on the pod. We'll have to get you back on properly to do a full episode with us when we can when you can find the time. I know you're busy with the
No, it would be nice. Yeah,
we'll catch some time with the Silurian gig as well. So
he can't say it. Look, how are you going to do it? You can't say Silurian.
I know. Do you know that's the only issue I have with that band because I'm never sure whether I still say it right or not.
You have spelt it wrong on occasion on your adverts.
I know. Yeah. I can't help but think Silly Bang.
Well, that's where it comes from.
Is that what it is?
They used to be called Sillet Band.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant.
They were a covers band called Sillet Band.
Yeah.
And then when they became a Marillion cover, they just put a C.
Put a Marillion at the end of it.
Yeah. So that's where it comes from.
Genius.
Cool. All bollocks. Yeah. One of them. But yes, thank you very much, Scott, and thank you, Jane, who sat next to Scott and not said anything at all.
Nothing to say about Marillions, sorry.
No. There you go. That's the last word. But okay, I'm going to hand you back to Craig and me and other folks. Anyway, that's what you think of the album.
And that's what Scott thought of it all.
That's what Scott thinks of it. And you've heard what we think of it. So I think we've done it, haven't we?
Can the bloke who gets picked up by fish in Grendel please get in touch?
Yes, please get in touch with us. We will forward your details to Guy Vicker, who will give
Just
you
want to check you're
who will
okay.
give you a cash prize.
Yeah. Probably had 40 years of therapy as a result.
He's probably very highly regarded.
Yeah, I always say to the therapist, I was picked up by a fish in front of 3,000 people. The therapist say, what the fuck?
That's all right. Yes.
Anyway, that's what we think, folks. I want to thank our guest this evening. Thank you to Leo Trimming.
It's been a pleasure, and I've enjoyed meeting you all, but I really enjoyed meeting Guy because I love that Mark, the Marathon Mark Kelly album. So it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Leah.
We'll get him to exchange numbers later, folks. Don't worry about it.
Well, he's
Thank
been
you.
stalking me anyway for years by the sound of it. So.
Thank you very much to Guy Vickers.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Guy.
Cheers,
And
Guy.
thanks to Stuart Chandler.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stuart.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you to my podcast other half, Craig Houston.
Well, thank you.
All that remains to be said is it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Take care.
And we're going on a road trip soon. Woohoo!
Stay alive. Okay. It's the following day. There's no magic here. It's the following day. And Stuart woke up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night after the recording. And he's come back to say something. We don't know what it is. But Stuart, what do you want to say?
Well, what I meant to say is Recital of the Script stands some 43 years later as an incredible and indelible document of a particular moment at a particular time. And it was incredibly important to me, and no doubt thousands more, for being the foundation of not only my fandom for Marillion, but also for music in general at that age. My teen self wouldn't believe I'd be sat here discussing it all these years later, and with like-minded people. As I said at the top of the pod, it formed my idea of what a live show should be and how a frontman behaves. And it spoiled me for years to come. That's what bands always had to be like for me, and they always disappointed. Right up until seeing Marillion again with H at the front, because despite the huge differences in style, he carries on the legacy of being an engaging and vital presence at the front. What a band!
There you go. He's got to say it. He's got to say it. Yeah, I totally agree with everything you've said there, mate. I'm sure Craig does.
Aye.
There you go. Even in Geordie, he agrees with it. Yeah.
Well, you bugger.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. It had a big effect on all of us, didn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, amazing.
But thank you again for being on the pod, and thank you for coming back
Thank you.
with your considered words. Far more considered than anything we said last night.
Thanks for listening to Planet Marzipan Podcast. Please like and subscribe from whichever platform you get your podcasts from. You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com and check out marillion.com, fishmusic.scot for all